I built 3 cutting boards, 5 minutes versus 5 hours versus 5 days.
I f***ed it up. Cutting boards are like the gateway drug for all woodworkers, regardless if you're brand new or you've been doing it for over a decade. They were one of the first products that my business got started with and something I still thoroughly enjoy building today. So when my wife asked me to replace our cutting board at home that's looking a little bit dingy, we thought, why not turn it into a challenge? So this is the 5-minute, 5-hour, and 5-day cutting board challenge. Now we've done something similar to this in the past where I built some boxes and we had the same time constraints. This time though, we're gonna have some glue ups and some crazy stuff that I have absolutely no idea how I'm gonna get done. I know exactly how I'm gonna do the 5-minute option, but the 5-hour and the 5-day are gonna get weird. Hopefully I don't screw anything up. I f***ed it up. So let's get into it. All right, so up first, we've got our 5-minute board challenge. When I did the 5-minute box challenge, I was really missing out because I didn't prepare anything. This, I'm keeping it super simple. The only prep I've done is I grabbed a saw and the sander, and they're literally just sitting close by. Everything else is probably gonna have to scramble for. I'm gonna keep this as absolutely safe as possible. Do not try this at home. I am a professional moron. There's a disclaimer on the screen for a reason. Rushing and sprinting through things is not smart.
You can call me anything you want, but
Taxes is feeling unwelcome. Now Taxes is an open door to new TurboTax stores. Meet our experts. They do your taxes.
With that being said, I've got a stopwatch on my wrist. Joe's gonna keep me up to speed on the timing of everything, and we are going to start on the go. Joe, it's on you. All right, so for this, I've got some live edge slabs over here, and my thought is we'll go a little bit more on the charcuterie side. This is our dough. A lot of people make cutting boards literally out of just slabs. And my best bet to do it in 5 minutes is gonna be this. So I've got a good old piece of walnut here. We're gonna go probably like 24 inches. That'll be a nice size.
What are you doing up there, man?
Got my saw here.
No, get down. Get down.
Okay, over here.
Go.
Gotta get this thing flat. This saw, this thing's gonna take way longer than I want. It's got a nice wobble in it, so that sucks. We're at 1 minute.
you got 350 left.
1.5. Nice, it's already 1.5 inches. That was lucky as hell. That was because I was making another cutting board. Okay? Shit. I didn't take enough. Pull is over here, getting in the shot. I just need to be done by, I got 30 seconds I need for this part. Come on, baby. Shit. That was, I'm gonna miss it. Solely because I took too long on this. Whoa. That sounds effing terrible. Okay, last pass.
240.
Shit, left or to? Okay, so, oh, you come here. Watch yourselves. You, what do we got on here? 120. Ah, is it in? Yes, okay. Nice and clean on the edge. How's my time? Probably should cut that off. There we go. I don't like this side here. time?
119.
Minute left, 60 seconds. It's probably as good as I'm gonna get, excuse me. Okay, you come here. All right, how much time?
5-minute cutting board.
58 seconds.
58 seconds. Oh boy, that's getting everywhere. I have oil all over my chest.
Little time trial.
I think it got in my mouth. I'm tasting the oil. How much time?
40. Lead time.
Total boats. Wood honey, baby, let's go. Let's go. It's not soaking in enough on the edge.
It's not soaking enough.
25, okay. All right. All right, how's my sweat? How's my sweat looking? Ooh. How much time? 15.
8, 7, 6,
5,
5, 4, 3, 2.
1.
Ta-da. Whew, not gonna lie, I definitely broke a sweat. This thing looks exactly like what you buy on Etsy. Does it not, Joe? We'll compare them all at the end. 5-minute cutting board for you people. Now I'm gonna go take a nap because that was exhausting. Up next, 5 hours. Now that I'm done sweating and catching my breath from the 5-minute build, let's get into the 5 hour. So I've built hundreds of cutting boards in my years, and what I think I can accomplish in 5 hours is using a long grain cutting board method. I'm gonna do a beveled edge on the outside.
You sure about that?
We'll do an offset colorful strip and a walnut board. I'm gonna do all of this with Titebond 3, which in 54% humidity in a 90-degree shop should dry in about 2 hours. This is not the way I would suggest building a cutting board at home. Let that thing sit overnight. But for the sake of this challenge, I think I can accomplish it and still get a high quality result. So gentlemen,
Start your engine!
and your clocks. We got 5 hours, let's go. I don't need to sprint around this time. I can walk and save myself. We're getting so old. Oh, look at that. All the stuff we're giving away on johnmalecki.com right now. If you're a beginner and you want to build some stuff, $1,400 prize pack, woo-hoo! We're gonna go with our tried and true. Get a chunk of this, piece of this.
Boo.
Boo.
Let Joe pick the one, man.
Let Joe pick. Joe can't even spell wood.
W-O-D, wood.
Wah, da, 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 da.
Quad.
So in order to save time while I mill up this walnut and some of these rest of these scraps here, I want to take a second to tell you about our sponsor this week, ShipStation. So ShipStation is a godsend for anyone running any size e-commerce business. If you're printing labels or looking to save time and money, it is the go-to place. With all of the t-shirt orders and with launching Shop Shades, eating up precious time for me and my team with shipping and receiving has been ridiculous. ShipStation is solving that problem for us. They have a super easy to use dashboard with effortless importing for orders. I mean, you'll see everything you sell online with shipping confirmations automatically applied, which is friggin' sick. I love automations and I love the ability to smoothly print labels at the click of a button. It's really helping us get faster and get back to making more videos for you guys. You can get 60 days for free by using the link down below, which is shipstation.com/John Malecki. My focus is being on camera, not spending time packing boxes and shipping stuff. I'm super excited that they sponsored this build because this has been an amazing product and brand for us to use in my business, and I love providing opportunities for you guys to use those as well. ShipStation gives you your time back in order for you to get back to work, which is exactly what I need to do on this build. So let's go. So I'm basically just going for like a basic, cool, long grain, like a chunky long grain board here. I think I like that. Maybe I'm gonna go rip some strips of this. A lot of you guys are probably upset with me because I already had that Padauk milled down, but we're using scrap wood. It was from the workbench. We did that, 8 months ago. Now, if I was doing an end grain board, I'd want like a smaller piece on the outside. I think I like this. It's a little thick, but I think it's kind of cool.
I like the Padauk on the outside.
Get some glue, get that thing clamped up. So I really like to use like an I-beam or a pipe clamp when I'm doing a cutting board because you can just get a lot more pressure on it compared to like a parallel clamp. So that's what I've got out here.
Clamp, that's what they call
I'm
it.
realizing I have a lot of stuff that's Padauk, walnut and red, and maple, just like this whole workbench. I'm gonna give this like 2.5 hours to dry. Let's get it out, and you can see it is so hot in here that even the squeeze out glue is already set. So like I said at the beginning of this video, not the way you're supposed to be doing it. This is not by the book. Highly don't recommend, but for the sake of this challenge, we send it. Now, fortunate for me, I have very big boy tools.
Wake up in the morning, so I put on my big boy pants.
Let's go to the wide belt. So this is gonna save me so much time, which I knew getting into it.
It's really unfair.
I'm gonna get the glue sanded off of this. We're gonna cut down the size. I'm either gonna do a juice groove or a chamfer. We'll see what Sam thinks once I get this thing down the shape. I'm too much of a perfectionist to not use like other shapes. But if I was going to kind of do that, and then you wanna see something like this.
Oh, that's a hack.
Yeah, trace that. Thanks.
What I want to do for this is give it some shape so it's not just a square. Have a little bit of time so I think I can get this done. I also want to plunge some handles into the edges so you can use both sides.
Once again, on to one of my favorite things, plunging holes in the side of perfectly good pieces of wood. I got greedy, but I have an answer. My perfect curve got fudged, Joe. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna bring it down a little bit more. Stupid handles.
I think that looks good. You don't like it?
These are too brittle, they'll break over time. Mitigate the amount of these ends will break. That's why I don't wanna keep them on there. Shouldn't be too bad, to be honest. We're gonna find out though pretty quick. I can't handle not having a perfect curve, so I'm gonna use this table saw jig here to give me that. Should be good. Now I'm up against the clock with a freaking mouthful of sawdust. So we're just gonna hit this with the 80, 120, 220. I'm gonna rip, get it rounded over, all that good stuff.
So being that I'm sort of in a hurry here, I'm just gonna rip through getting this thing through the final stages. I've got to clean up the insides of the handle as well as sand it to 220 grit, water pop it, break the edges, round them all over. I am running out of time quickly, so I have to move fast.
Now I gotta rush. I still don't know if I'm gonna hit the time. All right, I'm going with Bumbleshoot's mineral oil here. It's pretty common. It's one of my favorite things to do is apply mineral oil to the cutting board. Get it to pop. This is all food grade stuff. Smells really good, looks good, it works really nice. Just can't beat this combo, I don't think. If I could only make cutting boards out of certain colors of wood forever, it'd be these three.
A little bit of wax.
It's gonna be a wrap, a 5-hour cutting board from scratch. Time. Woo! Don't be too excited, buddy. Just poured my heart and soul, my whole life in there.
I like the
All
handles.
right, she's looking pretty good. That was tough. That got hard in the last hour there. I was stupid. I didn't plan better. I think I'm gonna do a lot better planning for the 5-day build, which we're gonna get into right now. So for this crazy weave that you see right here, I actually dove into the annals of the internet in order to find some inspiration and find something cool. And I absolutely love what Ryan at Feldhaus Family Woodworking is doing. My buddy Chris over at Third Coast Craftsman built one of his plans on his channel, and I thought, why not give it a shot? So I bought all of his plans, and we are going through them. This is just one of them. This thing is super detailed. It's 45 pages or something like that. There's like 5 glue ups, which is why this is gonna take us 5 days. It should give us an insanely complex and really cool build. This is a little bit out of my wheelhouse when it comes to precision, so I have a ton of fucking opportunities to this thing up. Hopefully I don't do it, but I do know that the first thing that is required is to mill up some lumber. So let's get to it. For this project, we're gonna use a couple of my favorite woods in cutting boards. We've got walnut, Padauk, and maple.
We all know that now.
I don't know where we've ever seen that before. There's also another accent wood in there, which is this zebra wood that cost $160 for these 2 pieces. Do we have a third piece somewhere? Nope, that's it. These 2 pieces, 160 bucks.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
So Sam and I are gonna rough cut these down to 3.5 inches per the plan. Everything gets a rough cut and then we get jointed and planed on one side. We got a lot of material here. We should be able to do it pretty quickly since all of our tools are tuned up. Sam's been in here caressing them quite nicely lately. Shall we, son? We have to get all of these parts here cut out of everything that I have here. Then we have Padauk in there. Anyway, what we're gonna do is rough saw our stuff down because we've got a little bit bigger machines than Ryan, the guy who designed this is. So we could do this just a little bit faster. So what I'll do is I'll resaw some stuff to 1 inch, and then I'll be able to just go straight to the planer for final thicknesses, because our planer can literally nail a thickness straight out the other side. If you watch any of his videos and stuff, it's a little bit more involved than that.
Okay.
I'm sweating profusely, if you were wondering. It is boob sweat season. I don't know why we never made a boob sweat shirt. Ben, make a boob sweat shirt. Anyway, we have all of our pieces milled down. It's like a pretty precise milling process. So you saw we were back and forth. We were on the planer, we were on the joiner, we were on the wide belt, the table saw, the band saw. A lot of stuff goes into this. This is why this kind of a board takes 5 days. What we're up to next is we've got to lay out our pieces. We are making a grid. We're gonna make 4 pieces that look like this. And we're gonna get really good, even, consistent, flat glue ups on all of those. So we'll make 4 of these, let those dry overnight, and that'll be the end of day 1. And I'm enlisting the help of Sam, as you guys have noticed. Cheetah! Just for like another body, keep this thing kind of moving. He's making some calls right now. That one is off. You know what we're busting out? You know what we're busting out? Damn it, Sam! Do we have a functioning one of these?
Yeah, that would be stripped down. The other one was pretty wrecked.
What went in here?
I don't know. I think it's sat in the sink, and that sink thing went in.
Says the perfect application for it. Well, sadly, we're gonna have to do this the trash way. By the trash way, I mean the completely normal way. Have a little plan if you're gonna do something like this for your glue up, right? I got all these boards here. I'm gonna lay them all down face up on one side and then apply my glue. My big piece will go in here. So that way I can just bring them all to themselves. I've got this little thingamajig here. You'll see, should keep it kind of clean. I got this little spoil board below me. And you don't need a mountain of glue, but you definitely want to make sure you're covered. Type-on 3 gives you a little bit more working time, as well as it's better for like projects that are going to be food grade and get wet. It has a better long time bond with moisture. So that's what we're using here. I always use Type-on 3 for cutting boards. But how much like joy this actually brings, this takes me right back, because like I got started building and selling cutting boards. This was one of my more popular patterns. I've never done anything this like insane with the weave or whatever. I loved doing cutting boards out of Padauk and maple and walnut. Super important to make sure that these stay like really flat. We're gonna throw some cauls on them. All you do is just tape one side, clamp them down, and they'll help everything stay really flat. Let those dry overnight, and we'll get back at them tomorrow morning. What the f? You son of a bitch. There we go. These should not be stuck together. Did they like drip? Ooh, no. That's not good. That's not good. It's not good at all, Sam. You know how I like butted the non-glued joints together? Yeah. Well, we got glue that like dripped down and then got in those cracks. So like I just got a tear out on this edge. I think we're gonna be able to get it out of milling. All right, let's roll them over here. I have a putty knife. This is a no bueno. Go figure, the most easy, basic, simple thing is where I'm screwing up. Like this stuff gets real. Who decided to peel up my floor? I did. This is supposed to be the easy part, to gouge the wood. Great news. It's gouging the wood. Did you sharpen this?
I did sharpen that.
Why? It just literally.
There was just so much Bondo built up on it, I had to sand it off.
What is going on? How does this glue get in here? I've never had this happen.
What's going on?
Just have one little spot right here. They're just drops, literal drops. All right, that shouldn't have been like that. Good thing I'm a pro. Yeah, I just got a joint and plane these now, excuse me. All right, I need to make a few marks now. Tell you what, this Padauk and walnut and maple looks really damn good if you ask me. Looking sharp. All right, so now we just lay out our next cut where things start to get precise. 1 1/16 and then 1 3/16. The mark here is to simply mark out where our table saw cut's gonna be. Once I set it up for 1, I'll have a problem. So we're gonna remove this material and then we're gonna glue up another sandwich that will be, you know, the cross pieces that are gonna go in this part. In what world do you need a workbench that has all this fun doohickeys on it? Well, this is it. Now we get to insert our zebra wood. I'll put these all in one very satisfying direction. A couple of our accent pieces here, wedge those in, bring on the zebra. That is our next glue up. So it's starting to look like a thing. What thing? I don't know, but a thing nonetheless. Back over to the glue stand. Maybe this time I won't glue them to each other. Let's see if we can prevent our squeeze out issue here. A little bit of tension.
Some paper.
Day 3, let's see if my dumbass can glue some stuff up and not have it all stick together. You're gonna wanna be subscribed to see what the hell that becomes.
What is that?
It's stupid, and everyone's gonna love it, or I'm gonna be sad, Joe. That's what it is. Don't ask questions like that.
What kind of material is that?
That is poop. I made a table out of poop, literally. Shit. I put my full body weight on these yesterday. End of the day, I had that Celsius in me. It was up till like 11 p.m. Whew. Hey! That a girl. That a girl. Damn. I didn't even use the freaking calls and that still came out. Hope we got enough wiggle room there. I'm gonna clean these up on the joiner and then we're going to go for round 3, I think, of glue ups. Everything's getting tricky. The orientation of the way we're planing and milling things is important. It's important enough to note which surfaces we're cleaning and which ones we're not. And so I'm gonna joint the bottom edge, everything I have here facing downwards. And then I gotta bring these all to final vertical thickness. My brain, it's on fire. It's not from the caffeine. I don't use nicotine, even though I heard Zins are awesome. Yeah, this is way more involved than like a normal cutting board that I've ever done. I'm gonna quadruple check and then we're gonna run these through the joiner. Now what we need to do is plane all of these down one more time, get this dirty surface up here down to 3. Ryan in his plans, he's got to do a bunch of passes to make sure he hits the line perfectly. We should be pretty good just throwing the digital 3 on there and flinging these right through. So that's what we're gonna do. Now I'm just gonna take my caliper here, measure this measurement, 29-30 seconds. I'm off slightly by what he's asking for. I can make a scratch and then I came back and I marked this here. Now we're gonna go and we're actually gonna cut center out here. So I'll set my saw blade to be inside of there and then we'll relieve that material, plane both of these edges down and then do our glue up. No! I f***ed it up. Oh no. Damn it. The cut's this way. This way. This makes 2 boards. These 4. They just go 4 wide. I have 3. I should be able to still go 4 wide. I'm just not gonna be able to make as big of a board. Oh, damn it. That sucks. Fridays. Making stupid mistakes. It still looks fine. I just think that when I go to do the diamond part now, everything's gonna get kind of effed up because this middle piece here is supposed to be the exact same thickness as these, and it's a 16th off. Should look pretty cool. I am gonna actually try to save this one by essentially doing the same thing.
What?
But I'm just gonna do it on the other orientation. Why waste the wood, right? After we get these out, I'm gonna have to cut them in half to give me 6 pieces because it was a 4-part lamination across. I hope I can still get one really good one out of here. And now I just realized that this is actually a 6-day glue up. I'm sad I screwed that up. That was a rookie frickin' mistake on my end. I hope I can save that last one. All right, so we're just gonna let these dry. Tomorrow, get on to the next cutting sequence, which I believe is cutting these into diamonds. Hopefully I can make something cool out of that part still, because I don't wanna waste the wood.
Can you believe they moved here with nothing but their milla?
I heard a guy named Hans made it with his own.
Let's see how you look. Oh, still locked. Oh. All right, that looks neat. Those look mediocre at best. No, they look good. Jointer. Now I just gotta do a little bit more marking and some squaring and some marking and some squaring. I mean, I'm easily seeing though how I've just like basically fudged everything up with my little mess up there. Up next, we are making a diamond on this thing now, and I gotta make some table saw cuts that are gonna like reveal this weave pattern. And if you look at it, it's pretty insane. So these will be gone and like that stuff will be what's left, and then we get the twisty turny and do all kinds of fun stuff to it. That's a lot of cutting to get to this point now and then be like, oh shit, nerve-wracking in my brain. So I gotta get the table saw set up perfectly, which is gonna be interesting. Let's take the top of this off.
Oh, cool. Oh, cool.
Now back to 90.
Okay, it doesn't want to fucking pause and I'm pressing pause. There we go.
Now back to 90. So now I gotta get squirrely because I effed up and lost that fourth board that I'm supposed to have for this. I think I gotta cut this sucker in half. Check this out. You can see that pattern. God, that's cool. So what I'm thinking is because we're down to 3, we're still at like a little bit over 37. Yeah, if I go 18 and a half across, I can go 6 wide and widen the board. We're completely off the plan now.
No surprise here.
If I'm gonna go 6 wide instead of 4 wide in order to just use up all the wood, after this next glue up, I dictate the thickness of it. So at 18, if I get to 18 after all the cuts, you know, with a kerf in between, I could probably get an 1.5 inch thick-ish board. That would give me 1, 3, 4.5, 6, for 12 rows of board-ish, and they're about 2 inches, so it'd be like a 24. I'd be able to get a nice big cutting board, which is what I was going for here. Now, you can come back and you can really see it needs a little bit of refinement. So you see the pattern? To just nip these edges off here. Brain serves me correct. That should give us the pattern that we're looking for. Now we're finally at the stage for more of like a classic glue up here. But we're gonna glue these up now, let this sit, and then day 5, we get back into another glue up. And while this dries, we actually have to build a crosscut sled for tomorrow because I don't have a good one. We've broke them all. Little bit of tension. It does look so good. Of all the cutting boards I've ever built, and I've built hundreds, this one's probably so far the sickest. The pattern on the end, it looks sick. Check that out. All right, let's build a crosscut sled. I've milled up some stuff. I've got some HDPE runners. We've got some leftover HDPE here. They fit in here perfectly. If you buy these online, they're 20 bucks. I just made them. Now granted, the sheet wasn't 20 bucks, but it might be worth it. Making these, I made a bunch. We've got some leftover plywood. I'm gonna cut this to the same width as this, which is just about 22 inches. That'll give me clearance. Then we're gonna make a 30-inch wide crosscut sled. We want precision here, but we don't need like the world's most ultimate precision. I'm not building aircraft grade stuff. 1,000 plans out there to do this, 150 different ways to build one. This is kind of just how I do it. I think it's interesting. A lot of us woodworkers here on YouTube will make crosscut sleds that are like really high end and nice, and I love that. But like pros, they probably build one like maybe once a week, at least once a month, because they're building for like the job specifically, and it's just faster than keeping one laying around. It's crazy to think about. I'm just gonna make a cut. And so for those of you who are looking to make something like this, you can go ahead and do the 5-cut method, Google it.
Don't everybody believe in Google?
I'm not gonna do it. If you ask me, a cut is pretty much as good as I'm gonna get with these materials and the saw. So for the sake of time, and because I only have 5 days, we're gonna take this out of the clamps and actually do the next glue up. It's been about 5 hours since I glued it up. I do not suggest doing this at home, but it's 90-some degrees here. It's super humid. Glue dries very quickly in more humid conditions. So I'm gonna get the overnight glue up to be our next glue up so I can finish this thing in the time constraint. It is looking sick though. Get this tape off, get this glue cleaned up, run this through the planer 2 more times, then we're gonna go hit the crosscut sled, finally revealing our pattern. And sorry about the mess behind me. We're just shooting some content for a giveaway we're doing right now on the website. You could win literally all of those Ryobi tools behind me. Just head over to johnmalecki.com. I got a link down below if you want to get entered to win. Really cool, really fun, really easy way to get into some tools. They're pretty rad too. A miter saw is in the pack there. It's crazy. That's looking legit. Well, here goes. Now for the fun part, we get to reveal the pattern. So supposedly, should just be able to open her up and then create pairs just like that. Looking pretty darn good, even for a schmuck who F things up. Ultra wide. It's a big cutting board. It's a man's cutting board. I cook large pieces of meat, Joe. I can't have a little cutting board for large pieces of meat. So then from here, what you do is flip them, and then that creates the weave.
Whoa, that's pretty.
Pretty nuts.
Where'd you buy this from?
Got her on Etsy. Give you a headache, that's for damn sure. It's off in some spots, and I don't know why. I f***ed it up, but there's nothing I could do at this point. I don't know where I screwed that up. I think it's because I was like just somewhere in my glue up, I was slightly off, so you could see like some of these don't line up. See how like that side lines up, but this side doesn't. It's so cool though, like the weaving part, because if you notice, it just goes over and under and over and under, and it makes me want to throw up. The good kind of vomit. Like I partied really hard, it was worth it. Puked it out, woke up the next day feeling great. Kind of a puke.
I'm back. You can rally. Woo!
No, you guys never done that? Weird. So I got the pattern laid out the way I want it. We're gonna get this thing glued up again. I changed it a little bit from the design, mostly because my corners were slightly off, and I think they look better and more sharp. I wanna see perfect corners more than I wanna see a weaved pattern. So we're gonna get this thing glued up, then on to the next phase. Final day, we are dry. Get this thing out of clamps, get her in the wide belt sander, get it down to final size. We're gonna do some handles, get to finally see how this thing looks finished up. Oh, let's clean up this edge real quick. I wanna stand it to 120, and then I think I might do integrated grooves on the side. So we were actually going through a pile of cutting boards that have literally just been sitting here. Who knows, they might actually be up for sale by the end of this video. But I wanna do some handles. So like I'm a big fan of just having somewhere to grab. And I don't think on this one for the 5-day build, I want to do a juice groove, just because I don't foresee it being used for a lot of like, maybe I will use it for like meat, but not so much for cutting, more for like serving. I feel like a juice groove is better on like a really big like meat chopping cutting board, because that's where the juice goes. I don't know.
Like it juice, eh?
I kind of just like the way it looks so much, I don't want to touch the top. We have reached that stage of potential catastrophe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a handle in. Should be about halfway through. That handle's going to go from this line to this line. Nice area to kind of grab onto. We have some feet for this. More or less, like if I keep effing it up, the board's going to keep getting smaller. I never loved doing this, but we need it. So here we go. I'm glad Joe talked me out of doing a border. He was telling me how cool the outside looks. And like the more I look at it, it is like kind of mesmerizing. I'm gonna keep sanding through this. Got a couple more hours till the end of the day. This is where things get tedious. I'm already at 120 grit. I'm gonna sand to 220 grit, water pop it, and then 220 again. Here we go. Now for one of the most enjoyable parts of cutting board building. And that's gonna be the water pop. This is how you get that super smooth top. If you think about it, all the fibers right now are running vertical and they get all over the place. When you sand them, they kind of like loosen up, and then you hit them with water, they stand straight up. That's what's going on here. A little bit of water gives us a preview of what it's gonna look like.
Look at it.
Now you don't need to soak it. And here's the hack that I like to use is you could take a heat gun. This one I just reviewed on the Unscrewed channel. It doesn't have a ton of heat, and that'll speed up the process of drying this, as you can see. Or you could go with the torch and just don't come down too far and do the same thing. What's crazy is like I love cutting boards, but rub your hand on that. It's warm, but like it's rough now, right?
Feels like a warm summer breeze.
You can see this, it feels like the sweat you could feel off my face. I'm gonna hit this with 220 again. So the next thing I'm gonna do is hit these with a round over. I like to do it at this phase, because if I'm using the heavier grits and I round something over, I tend to then kind of go and like falsely sand that rounded edge. I'll hit it with the round over now that it's a 220 and I only have one more grit to go. Now when I come back with, she is now ready for finish. I'm gonna be hitting this with some mineral oil. It's from Bumbleshoots. Let this kind of soak in, and then I will come back, wipe it down after it dries, give it a buff with some wax. It's incredible. Even after 10 years of woodworking, this is still probably the best part about it. We're gonna apply some of this. This end grain looks so good. Once you get this wax on it.
This one is pretty.
Now for some feet. There's nothing quite like putting finish on a cutting board, or literally anything. And then drilling a hole. Should get some higher end feet, for sure. I don't even know where to buy them.
This is dope. The feet, with the feet at the bottom, that's
A real pro would taking the time to mortise that in. Arguably the greatest cutting board I've ever made.
Woo! $5. 5 hour? 5 hour energy. Handles carved in 5 days. With the feet at the bottom too, it's sick. Design looks dope.
And there you have it, a 5-minute, 5-hour, and 5-day cutting board build. This was ridiculously challenging from the time constraints on both of these, trying to do unique stuff and the pattern on this sucker. I wanna know which one you like the best, and then I wanna know, what are we gonna do in our next time challenge?
That was dope. Cutting boards look good. The design of the 5-hour one, this 5-day one is sick.